is Vegas All Net Radio, the final frontier of free speech.
Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
Hello and good afternoon. This is Artie at Aqua Plumbing. We have a radio show. This is our second broadcast. Thank you for joining us today. Our radio show name is Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing, and this week I brought, as usual, my wonderful wife along with me. She handles all of the books in the office with some help from her staff and keeps me straightened out, which is a full-time job both during work and after work. This is week 2. It is August 20, 2015. It is National Lemonade Day, Chocolate Pecan Pie Day, and National, most of all, Radio Day. Yay, applause. Woo! So, Becky, you want to talk a little bit about any of those three?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
I hate when you put me on the spot.
Well, and we just found out you don't like chocolate pecan pie. Why is that?
I don't like anything chocolate.
That is very true. That is very true.
I'll stick with the pecan pie.
What about lemonade?
Absolutely. I love lemonade.
All right. And Radio Day, how you feel about that?
I'm still getting used to the whole radio thing.
Very good. Very good. Well, again, my name is Artie White. Been in Las Vegas since 1973. I do consider myself a what do you call that?
Native.
A native, yeah. I'm not an Indian, but I'm a native. And
you're married to an Indian.
I'm married to an Indian. And she's a woo-woo-woo Indian, not a dot-head Indian. So there's a distinct difference between the two. I grew up in the northwest part of town most of my life and went to Hyde Park, I guess they called it junior high school back then. And then I went on to Western High School, and then I started plumbing started in the plumbing field in the ripe old age of 15 years old, November 1 of 1980. So how long you been in the plumbing industry?
Since about 2001.
2001. So you're a plumber by injection then? All right. Very good. So you've lived here since 73? Oh, I moved here in 73 and you were born in 73.
Yeah.
That would make me a cradle robber.
Absolutely it would.
All right. Very good. It's my understanding you also race.
I do. I have a 1967 Mustang that I race in the SCCA.
Very, very good. And who do you race that for?
Relay for Life, a foundation for cancer awareness.
That is excellent. We are always looking for potential sponsors on that race car. If anybody wants to donate $1,000 to Relay for Life, bring us the receipt. We will put your company name on the car for 1 year. So definitely do get in touch with us. And we are going to ask for some people to call in today when we get to our subject matter. The telephone number here, please write this down or poke it into your phone right now. That would be 702-483-4444, 702-483-4444. So how many kids do we have?
Too many to count.
Too many to count. And is that including grandkids too?
Oh, then there's really too many to count.
Very much so. So go ahead. You're a lot better at this than I am. I always stand there and flutter my eyes and look at my fingers. Start at the bottom, go to the top.
5 kids, 17, 18, 20, 24, and 30. And our grandchildren are soon to be born in March. 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Very good. Would they have names?
No.
Okay.
I just go by their ages.
All right. They don't have names. Good. And we have a dog.
We do. His name is Artie.
Right. And when the Doberman Rescue Society came out, they wanted to know if there was going to be any confusion with the dog's name being Artie and my name being Artie. And what did you tell that lady?
I told her absolutely not. He's either daddy, honey, or asshole. So we won't call the dog any of those names.
And there's never been any confusion in the 3 years we've had him, has there?
There has not.
All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us on our show today. Our topic today is problematic things to look for around your home. we start having so much fun in the radio show that we kind of lose track of why we're even here. Our primary goal is for people to understand that the plumbing system in their home or business, building, whatever the case may be, is a maintenanceable system. It's just like an automobile. Automobiles need to be tuned up. They need the tires checked, hoses checked, belts checked, fluids checked. And the same goes with your home plumbing system. There are certain things that you can be looking for, as well as other things that are not plumbing related at certain times of the year. So I guess what we're trying to get information out to the general public, whether you live in Las Vegas, Nevada, or anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world, there are certain things. Other parts of the world is kind of funny because some of them don't have plumbing systems. But for those of us who are fortunate to have plumbing systems, it's probably one of the most important systems that you are in, on, near, or around in any one given day or time. And the old adage goes, if you flush your toilet, do you ever want that country western the country western song to be played backwards? Obviously not, because you could potentially have a flood in your home, and it might be some dirty water, and we don't want that in your homes or your businesses. So there are a few things to look at around your home. And again, if anybody has any questions of us during the show, please feel free to
out.
Yeah, I've got it. Please feel free to call us at any time. The phone number is 702-483-4444. If you're just tuning in to Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing, the phone number is 702-483-4444.
Why don't you give them our phone number in case they want to call after we're not on the air?
We can do that. Our phone number for Aqua Plumbing here in Las Vegas, Nevada is 702-642-8400, 642-8400, and you can call us any time of day and ask us questions, have us come out to your home or building, and we will gladly do so. So with that said, what are a few things that you think need to be looked at?
The toilet bolts is one of the easiest things to look at.
It is. How do you do that?
You lift the lid off of the tank part of your toilet, and there's bolts down at the bottom. And when you look at them, you should be able to tell that they're bolts. If they're big blobs of orange yuck, you have an issue. You do have an issue. So when one of those bolts breaks, and it's not going to happen while you're home, Murphy's Law is what it is. When one of those bolts breaks, the tank comes loose from the bowl, water starts leaking on the floor, the fill valve in the toilet starts to turn, it begins the water running into the toilet tank, thinking that the tank needs to be filled, when in essence, your house is filling. Now, if you're upstairs and this happens, and this is a bathroom upstairs, where's that water going to go? Well, ultimately, it's going to spread itself out all over the floor. It is then going to seep down through the floor, and you're going to lose all the drywall in the ceiling portion of the first story of your home. And it is very, very expensive. It's very, very damaging, and it can damage a lot of articles in your house. So what else do you think we should be having people look at? Well, on that subject, remember that call we went on that the toilet bolt broke, disintegrated, whatever you want to call it, and it took out the ceiling, and it took out their about $50,000 grand piano underneath?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. A funny story comes, you say your mother-in-law comes to live with you, and she's in the downstairs bathroom, and your toilet happens to have this problem, and there's a tremendous amount of water, and it fills up the ceiling, and the sheetrock comes flying down, and you go walking into Grandma's bedroom, and here she is sitting on the bed upright looking at you with this look of horror on her face, and she's got a sheetrock necklace. Now, wouldn't that be a sight? I can't imagine. That's when you just book a trip to Hawaii and leave. You just go. So then you got to call your insurance company, and then you got to have a restoration company, and it's a hell of a way to get a remodel, but it's a little bit, it's very stressful. Very stressful. You don't have the opportunity to take the things out of your house you want to before this disaster occurs. It just happens, and again, it usually happens when you're at work. How did our house flood?
Our washing machine just kept running and running and running.
Our washing machine decided to turn itself on one day and decided to continue to fill, and it never did something was obviously wrong with the washing machine. So I came home from work and saw water coming out of the garage door and thought, oh, well, the water heater's leaking. I'm going to have to call one of my techs and get a water heater put in. And it turns out that wasn't the case. The washing machine was just continuing to fill. By the looks of things, it probably started to fill around 9 in the morning, and when I got home from work about 4:30, there was 4 inches of standing water throughout the entire house. So you just never know when something's going to happen, and it's our job today on this show and for the months to come to try to thwart these things and keep them from happening to you. If we can save one person a tragedy of having their house flood from a plumbing failure standpoint, I feel like we've done our job. What do you think?
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
All right. So a little bit more about us. We're a family-owned company. We've got anywhere between 10 and 20 employees, depending on degree of busyness any one given week. We really enjoy what we do, and we discussed last week what really motivates us, and what truly motivates us is helping people. You want to talk about the organizations we're involved with?
Yeah, just a little bit. We do a lot of work for Rebuilding Together. Our main purpose is to give back to the community, and we do that through Rebuilding Together and Habitat for Humanity, and help people that aren't as fortunate with their plumbing system. We really feel like plumbing is the most important thing in your home, and without it, we wouldn't be near where anybody is today.
Nope, it's the plumbing industry was designed and instituted to keep people safe and healthy by delivering clean water to buildings and houses and removing the waste safely from the buildings and houses to a water treatment plant. So we're very proud to be in this industry. I didn't ever plan on being in this industry. I had a gentleman up the street when I was 15 riding my bicycle, and he asked me if I wanted a job at his plumbing company, and I looked at him like he had a third eye. I gave it some thought, and the next thing I knew, I was downloading this fine man's truck, and it turned into many trucks, and then it turned into me becoming a plumbing professional, gaining my journeyman's license, and then ultimately going to get a contractor's license, and here we are today. I'm very glad that I did partake in the plumbing industry. It's very gratifying work. We do a lot of, we perform the plumbing in a lot of fire restorations. When a home or building burns, typically homes, we will go out, the general contractor will hire us, they'll rebuild the house, and we'll redo the plumbing system. And when these people walk into these houses, it's very gratifying for them to see their brand new home for the first time. You know, they've lost everything in a fire. Just because it didn't burn doesn't mean it wasn't damaged by smoke. And with that said, it all has to come out, it all has to be put in brand new. And we're instrumental in doing that. We work for many general contractors in town that do take care of fire repairs and also some floods. So we're very glad to be on board with them, and we're selective as to who we work for, and we feel like we work for the best. We feel like we are the best, and we try to give a little something back to those people too. We put a really nice kitchen sink in and a really nice faucet, because that's the most widely used fixture in the home, and we just want them to enjoy it. Not long ago, we had a lady that wanted a glass filler, or a pot filler, if you will, above her stove, and we were able to do that. We went and we had her pick one out, and she can fill a big gigantic 3-gallon pot on her stove without having to fill it at the sink and then carry it across the kitchen. And it was something we could do because the house had burned, and the sky's the limit at that point. So
those are really nice. We have one in our house.
Yes,
I don't know that I've ever used it, but they're nice.
Well, our house flooded like we were discussing, and
10 years ago.
Our kitchen is still brand new because Becky's cooking skills. So we can sell that house today and then tell everybody the kitchen's still brand new.
You didn't marry me for my cooking skills.
That is true. I married you because of what we talked about, what motivates us last week.
Yeah, let's not talk about that again.
All right. Well, we've reached our commercial segment for the first quarter of this second show. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Again, thank you very much for tuning in today at Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing. All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed the commercials. They are all about Aqua Plumbing. We're working on that. We're working on some sponsors. We think we'll get some, but the commercials, as I understand it, some people have told me that they're funnier than the show, so please do enjoy our commercials. Most of the time, I have TiVo, so I don't even get to see a television commercial, and in some cases, it's my understanding I'm missing out on some pretty funny stuff. Speaking of funny, we've got a couple funny plumbing stories. We're going to try to bring you a funny plumbing story. We would encourage you to call in at 702-483-4444, 702-483-4444 for your funny plumbing story. But right now, Becky's got one or two funny plumbing stories, and they are really funny.
So, you were talking earlier about how you started in the plumbing industry, and I never in a million years thought that I would be in the plumbing industry. We had just opened Aqua Plumbing, and we had just finished a big tract of homes, and this lady called our office hysterically crying, and I got her on the phone, and I'm trying to calm her down just so I can understand what she's talking about.
She was a little old lady, right?
Oh yeah, she was pretty old, but she had just bought a brand new house, and the general contractor had put in power flush assisted toilets.
Those are the toilets when you hit the handle, they go.
Yeah.
They don't just, the dookie doesn't just meander down.
No, it flies down.
Okay.
So this lady is crying and carrying on, and I finally got out of her that she didn't like her toilets, and she wanted us to come change all 3 toilets in her house. Like that day, it was an emergency, and I was asking her what was wrong with her toilets, and after she had cried and carried on, she finally ended up telling me that she was afraid of her toilets because she thought that they were going to flush her down with them. She was dead serious, scared to death.
How about the lady a few months later that called and apparently she was a pooper sitter like I am, and she can read an entire load of encyclopedias like I can while she's in the bathroom. What was her problem?
She didn't like when she flushed the toilet. I guess when she flushed the toilet, she continued to sit on the toilet, which
I do
okay.
I do that.
Okay.
I do
That's
that twice.
A little odd, but okay.
I'm a two-flusher.
Okay, at least stand up so your ass doesn't get wet.
That was her problem.
That was her problem.
She wanted us to come change her toilets because she was getting butt splash while she was sitting down.
She did not like her butt getting wet when she flushed the toilet.
Did you tell her that was extra?
No. I just told her, we'll come and change your toilets, ma'am.
That is really fun. Those are 2 funny stories. She could always put cellophane or something over the toilet before she goes, and I guess
she can stand up.
I guess that wouldn't work. Then nothing would go down.
Right.
All right. I got it. That is really funny. All right, changing pages here. So we not only take silly phone calls like that and succumb to people's desires, but we also take care of service and repair for people as well, huh? What do we do?
We do. We have 2 full-time service techs that's all they do is service and repair. They're cell phone dispatched, and they take care of everything from a leaky toilet to water heaters to full house remodels. So I'm sure they see some interesting stuff.
We've had a rash of water services that have begun leaking. If you ever get your water bill and it's gone from your typical $23, $33 to $305 or whatever the case may be, you have a leak in your front yard.
Or under your house somewhere.
Or under your house. We'll come out, we'll isolate, figure out where the problem is. But you'll get a nasty gram from Las Vegas Water District saying, you've got a problem, you have such and such days to fix it. I believe it's 5 or 8, something like that. Or they will come turn off your water because they're convinced we live in a desert. I believe it's hotter than the surface of the sun out there right now. And it is our duty to help you save all the water we can. This is a leak you wouldn't see. You're only going to see it in your bill. We'll come out with some specialized equipment. We'll pinpoint it, find it, dig it up, and go ahead and fix it. And it's something that you're going to have done or do it yourself because the water district will and does have the power to turn off your water. And I've seen it done many a times, and then that turns into an emergency, and nobody likes to have that. So if you get a water bill and it's inordinately high, you know, if you're one of those people that watches your bills and you're sitting there at $25, $27, $31, $27, $31, $34, $36, and suddenly, whammo, you've got this gigantic water bill, there's likely a problem. You need to give us a call. We'll come right out, We will verify that there's a problem, and if we don't find a problem, we will give you a letter verifying there's no problem, and then you can have your meter reread, and sometimes it's a mistake. You can also do that first, or have us come out. One way or the other, you're going to have to get it rectified, because the water district will turn your water off, and that's not any fun at all.
Absolutely not.
So you mentioned that we work for rebuilding. Who else do we work for?
Habitat for Humanity.
They build homes for people in the community that actually have to work on their own home, don't they?
They do. The program for Habitat for Humanity, the homeowners have to put in so many hours either on their own home or on another home that Habitat for Humanity is building. So it's a really good program to get people into home ownership.
Very good. And we just finished 6 for those people.
We did out in Henderson. They're getting ready to start 12 more.
16 more.
16.
They're getting ready to go with 16 more, and there's going to be a lot of people out there. And then they've got a program also that employs youths. I feel like I'm my cousin Vinny. Those 2 youths. Remember that? No, you don't remember that. I turn on a good movie and she falls asleep. So they bring on some volunteers. It's a school through CSN. I believe it's through CSN.
No, it's through the school district. It's called Workforce Connections.
They take people 18 to 24, and they actually put them out working on these houses, strongly supervised. We'll be out working on a Habitat for Humanity plumbing system, and they'll actually come up. The supervisor will come up and ask my people if they will take these kids, if you will, these 18 to 24-year-olds, and we'll actually have them perform the plumbing system, building the plumbing system in these houses while my guys just watch and instruct them. So it's a really good program. The people are getting a plumbing experience, framing, concrete, electrical. It's a great program.
They get a really well-rounded education from it. I don't remember how long ago it was. A couple years we built a house in a week with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, we actually had a week to finish it. We had 5 days to finish it, and we finished it in 4 days, 11 hours and something. We were out putting sinks in. You and I were out putting sinks in at 9:30 at night with Carl, and I believe Trevor was out there. Yeah, it was pretty interesting program. We built an entire house in 4 days and 11 hours. That was something else.
It was a really cool thing to watch everybody come together. All the trades were working together, and we were all in there at the same time. I've never seen so many people on a job site.
And then the inspector came in, and about that time we turned the water on, and we didn't have a fitting. We weren't quite done, and the inspector walked in and turned the water on and soaked Steve, almost knocked him off the ladder. Remember that? It was pretty good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I'll never forget, we had a kickoff party at 6 a.m. middle of the street, and they fired off the shotgun, and off we went running, and they told me, we'll see you back here at about 9. You can get the roughed-in plumbing put in, and we no more get back to the office. It was a little less than an hour, and they said, okay, come on back. So that was an indication, right off the bat, we were 2 hours ahead of schedule. That was really something for those guys to put that house together. And it turned out to be a beautiful home.
It did.
People live there today. Mm-hmm. They really do. And they were instrumental. They were out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're out there during the concrete, and then they're back out there raking rocks for their landscaping. It's really gratifying to see that kind of thing. We also do some new construction, some small new construction. What do we do there?
We do commercial construction. We're doing a lot of tenant improvements right now. It's good to see the building arena back in action, and all of us are busy.
All right. And what do you think sets us apart from other contractors?
I think that we're family owned. We're small. All of our employees have been with us for a long time, so all of our employees know what we expect and have the same outlook on things that we do. I think that's the biggest thing that sets us apart.
So really everybody knows what everybody else is thinking, and it's a well-oiled machine, and you think everybody's pretty happy?
Absolutely. You need to take a phone call.
I do. Oh, we've got our very first phone caller. It's my understanding his name is Wilbur. I have no idea how to do this. Hey, Wilbur, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine there, Mr. White. Can you tell me a question in case there's an emergency or something on my gas water heater? How do you shut it off, and then when you need to turn it back on, how do you do that stuff?
Well, that's really a job for a plumbing professional. If somebody were to have a problem with their gas, the first thing you need to do is call the gas company. You can also call 911, and they will dispatch the gas company. If you smell gas, they will come out, interrupt your gas, and then you can call a plumbing professional to come out and turn the gas off to the water heater. If your water heater simply quits working, however, and you feel better about turning the gas piping off to your water heater, there's a valve right near the wall. It's got a yellow, red, green top on it, and you can turn that valve so that the valve, when it's positioned, if it's perpendicular with the piping coming out of the wall, the gas has effectively been interrupted. Does that help?
Yeah, are you going to put this on the air?
Absolutely.
We are on the air.
You think this is Wilbur?
This is Wilbur.
This is Wilbur, but this thing must be a time delay. I'm listening to you on one thing and talking to you on the phone.
Okay.
So you guys on a time delay?
No.
That's weird.
All right.
Yeah, it is a little bit of delay. Oh, thank you very much. I forgot my accent part.
Yeah. All right, Wilbur, you have a great day.
Oh, bye.
Bye. Who the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Oh, I just
Pulled yourself out of your microphone.
Yep, no, I don't have a pull out and put it back.
No. Hold on.
No,
there we go.
There's 2 holes.
All right, yeah. This is the first time that's ever happened to me. I'm too tall to see something. So very good. Well, we really appreciate Wilbur wanting to know a little bit about his water heater and how the radio station works and the time delay and everything. That's a pretty cool deal. So where were we? We were talking about
Tenant improvements and new construction.
right. That's very, very true. Right now we're doing a Banana Republic. We're doing a Gap. We're doing a Cox Retail.
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret, your favorite place.
All the stores I like to shop at.
Yeah, all the stores you like to shop at. The Cox Retail is going in where there was a Radio Shack.
I was a little sad to see the Radio Shack
Oh yeah, like you were over in there.
gone. I was.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's
I have to buy extra batteries for my phone.
right. Batteries for your phone. You go ahead
My
and you keep
phone.
telling everybody it's for your phone. Mhm. Here, let me put my phone on vibrate. Put this in your lap.
Okay.
My phone. That's good. That's
My
really
phone,
good. So let's talk
seriously.
about what our goofy daughter did for us the other day for your birthday.
Oh, our wonderful daughter got us a room. She works at the Mirage, and she got us tickets.
We've hit the bottom of the hour. We're going to have to break for just a couple of seconds. Please tune back in after the commercials and listen to what Alexis did for us for Becky's birthday. Thank you for joining us at Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on the air for segment number 3 of our 1-hour show. Second time out of the bag. What do you think? How do you think it's going?
Good. I feel much better this time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm going to throw up this time.
Come in here. I said, are you excited? No. I said, why not? I'm always nervous. I'm always nervous before a race, and I'm always nervous before the radio show.
I'm not one to step out of my norm. You know that. We've been married long enough. You should know that.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just got to kick them. That's just all there is to it. So back to what we were talking about. We're performing a lot of TIs around town. The guys are scrambling. Everybody seems to be really, really happy. And
We were talking about my birthday.
Tell us about the room.
that's right. We're gonna talk about what Alexis did for us. All right. Well, I'm ready.
So I've always said I hate surprises, and I do. I hate them because my wonderful husband wants to remind me every 5 minutes. I know something that you don't, and it drives me absolutely crazy, so I hate surprises. So for my birthday, our daughter got us tickets to see
Terry Fader.
Terry Fader. Thank you. I couldn't remember his name. He's absolutely amazing.
Oh, he's funnier than hell.
Awesome show, yeah. And so after the show, she had also got us a room at the Mirage. And when Artie went up to check into the room, they had upgraded us to a suite.
Well, it was the room was a surprise, and I was in on the surprise. And I told the gentleman at the front desk, I said, I need you to hurry. My wife's in the bathroom. We're on a date. This is a surprise. She has no idea we're getting a room. And he says, okay. And he takes my credit card, my driver's license, clicked it down into his keyboard like they always do. And he turns and disappears through the frickin' door behind him. And I'm standing there. I'm looking around like, what the hell? And I keep watching the bathroom door. Because if I get caught at this counter, the surprise is over with. So he comes walking back out. And I said, where'd you go? What are you doing? Oh, you're a local. He says, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upgrade you to a tower suite. And, I'd anticipated getting a room the size of this piece of paper. We just wanted a place to crash. And we didn't want to drive home late at night. And I didn't want to drive home late at night. And again, it was a surprise for her. So I give my room card when it was all said and done. I didn't get caught. She didn't come out of the bathroom soon enough. And I gave my daughter, who had showed up, the card incognito, in disguise, with nobody looking and everything. And so Becky and I were in the Terry Fader show, and Alexis went up to the room and did what?
She put rose petals everywhere and wine and beer, and she did an amazing job. And I decided then that I actually liked surprises.
She put a heart on the bed. She put a heart on the bed, all in rose petals.
She did, all in rose petals. And she's going to make somebody a very good wife someday.
Well, I got to tell you, she's my hero because, my surprise was the room. I was just as surprised when we walked into the room. And what's really funny is Becky likes Rockstar and I like Coors Light. So we walked over to the refrigerator, and it's too late for us to drink. But there was a 40-ounce can of Coors Light in the refrigerator. I was like, how the hell does somebody drink one of those in one sitting? So it was really cool. We had rose petals from the door all the way to the bedroom, rose petals all around the jacuzzi.
Yep.
Arbor Mist wine, your favorite wine, in the bucket of ice at the end of the tub. And
it's called a wine bucket, honey.
A wine bucket, and the shower was as big as our closet. The bedroom was as big as our living room, and this suite was probably 9, 10, 1,100 square feet. It was
amazing.
It was amazing, and
but that is one good thing. The MGM properties, if you're a local and they have rooms, they will help you out, upgrade you, do whatever they
can. That guy disappeared through the door to get approval of some kind, I'm assuming. I don't know. All I know is he stuck me in the lurch, Jack. I was standing there looking at the keyboard, looking at the bathroom, looking at the keyboard, waiting to get caught, and he made it out. He handed me my stuff and the room keys. He said, "You're on your own. Find the room yourself. Get out of here. Get out of here." And he handed me all my shit, and off I went. And it wasn't 9 seconds later, you walked out of the bathroom. So yeah,
it was a great surprise. Thank you.
We're way off track. Did the plumbing work?
That's also a funny thing. I don't know if it's just being a plumber, but every single time we stay in a hotel, anywhere in the country, something in our room, the plumbing doesn't work. Do you think that's just
your lavatory was all plugged up?
Our luck?
Your lavatory?
Uh-huh.
The sink?
Yeah.
You brush your teeth in?
I know what it is.
It was all plugged up and you didn't do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Something is always wrong with the plumbing.
Right. And then if you notice all the hotels we've ever been in, it's the same shower head.
Well, yeah. I think that must be the cheapest one that everybody can buy.
Yeah, it's definitely the cheapest shower head. So thank you, Alexis. You made our week that week.
Yes, you did.
Now you can move to New Zealand now. It's all good.
No, she can't.
Okay.
All of our children have to stay here.
So what do you think some other things that are problematic around a person's home they need to be looking for as a girl? Try to take yourself out of the plumbing world, because you're very knowledgeable. You've gone to jobs. You've been on service calls. You've actually helped lift water heaters up in heels.
In high heels.
Right.
Yeah.
Those were all really strange circumstances, but you're there.
I am.
So from a girl standpoint, say you're a single mother living in a home that you own. What do you think some of the things you should have looked at or look at yourself? Because a lot of this stuff you can look at yourself and see if there's a problem and then decide if you should call a plumbing professional or not.
Oh, you're right. I think the easiest thing to look at is when you grab your dish soap out from under the kitchen sink, just make sure that it's not wet underneath, and that goes for your bathroom sinks.
So you should always pull the box of detergent out and touch the bottom of the box? That's an indicator?
Yeah.
Because if it's wet?
I wouldn't necessarily do that. You can just look and see if it's wet.
How about if you open those doors and it smells musty?
Yeah.
That's a tiny, tiny leak. You could have some mold growing. Mold likes a little bit of water, a lot of warmth, and some air, and the next thing you know, and some dark, and you've got a problem. And the more the mold grows, the more dark it gets. Does it not? That mold is blech.
That is disgusting.
But you can smell it. You can actually open the doors to the any cabinet, and if you smell any sort of mustiness, something out of the normal, that's probably a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. But that's the easiest one to see.
So if everybody had a flashlight and would walk around their house with a flashlight, they could actually open their cabinet doors and look at the valves underneath any and all of their sinks. Mm-hmm. And if they see a white snowball or some corrosion or possibly a drip or any sort of moisture, that's a problem. And if and those are called angle stops, by the way, for the people that don't know that. Shut off valve, angle stop. If one's leaking, should all of them be looked at?
They should all be looked at because they're probably all the same age and they're all going to start deteriorating at some point.
So as a normal everyday person, they can actually they can perform their own plumbing inspection, visual plumbing inspection, can't they?
Yes, but if they're a single woman or somebody that doesn't feel comfortable doing it, they can call us and we'll come out and do a free plumbing inspection for them.
That is very true. We do pride ourselves on our free plumbing inspection. And people often ask, Artie, why do you spend the time and send your guys out and take care of these people for free? Well, 2 reasons. We like to give back to the community, and we know we're going to find something wrong in the house. And we're going to notify you and indicate what the problem is and let you know what you can expect and the degree of seriousness as to when it should be addressed, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week, or whatever the case may be. We give you a forecast. We're a hell of a lot more accurate than the weatherman, that's for sure. That's the only profession I know you could be wrong 212% of the time and still have a job, but it is what it is. We don't have that luxury, and
we'd be out of business if we were wrong 212% of the time.
That's very, very true. So you can either hire a different plumbing professional to come out and take care of your plumbing needs, or you can certainly hire us after we've located the problems. We've been doing free home plumbing inspections for about 5 years now, and in the 5 years we've done hundreds of them, and I can visualize and which means I can still see them in my mind.
Without
right?
your glasses?
Without my... Nice. Very nice. 3 homes. 3 homes, a little over 10 years old. There was nothing wrong in those homes. I was completely beside myself. I couldn't believe it. And it has a lot to do with the water quality in Las Vegas. It's very hard water. Has a lot of minerals in it, a lot of corrosive minerals in our water, and it's very hard on plumbing systems. And with that said, different aquifers around town cause plumbing systems to fail more prematurely than others. And 3 homes in the time we've been doing this, there was there was absolutely nothing wrong with these people's houses. It looked like the plumbing had gone in last week. Most people aren't that fortunate. Like I said, out of hundreds, there was 3. There were 3 that I can distinctly, vividly remember. So,
but luckily, most of the stuff we find isn't expensive. It's not a whole house repipe. It's not major issues. They're just small issues because people don't know that they need to take care of their plumbing system.
That is very, very correct. And we perform a few things around our house, and we like to use the time change to do it.
I perform things around our house.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I.
No, I. Who takes care of the plumbing in our house?
You.
Me.
Right.
That's right.
And the dryer vent.
That's right.
And you fixed the washing machine.
I did.
She had that.
Google is a great thing.
Yeah, she fixed the washing machine. It still doesn't work, but she fixed the washing machine. It hasn't worked since it was new.
It works fine. You just don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
Well, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that you are picky and don't like it.
Right. Well, I don't use it, so I don't really care.
Exactly my point.
All right. Very good. So, yeah, what are some other things that you can be looking for around the house? Drippy hose bibs maybe causing a little green slime on the sidewalk for grandma to slip on, mother-in-law, before she gets that drywall collar we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
She slips, falls down. Now she's in bed, sitting up. The ceiling comes down. She's got a drywall collar.
Do you have something against my mother? Everything is a mother-in-law. I thought you liked my mom.
I do. I like your mom.
She'll never come to live with us after this radio show, that's for sure.
So, what if you have a swimming pool and it's got an autofill and that's a device that when the water level goes down, it automatically comes on. It's just like the inside of a toilet tank. You come home and your water level's down. Do we work on that kind of thing?
We do. We work on the piping to the pool. We don't want anything to do with pools.
Right. We can't rough in the plumbing for a pool, but we can work on the piping for a pool. We don't work on the pump assembly or any of that kind of thing. But if you have a plumbing piping leak for your swimming pool, we have the technology and everything. We can go out and find the problem and correct the problem in the actual piping.
Right.
What about a water heater? Water heater's all rusty on the outside. What do you think? Fotina like our hot rods?
No, that's not what you want.
Oh, you don't? That's not how it works?
No, that's not how it works.
Okay. It doesn't work like that?
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that.
No, that's not how it works.
If you've got a water heater and it's about 8 years old, what should you be thinking about doing?
You should be thinking about replacing it, because you would much rather replace it while it's working than come home and it has flooded your home.
Correct. Earlier I had mentioned that when I came home and saw water coming out of the garage door, I had assumed the water heater had failed, and that was not the case, but that was my first thought, was it not?
Right, because it was in the garage.
Right, exactly. So water heater about 8-9 years old, we need to think about replacing it.
And in this valley, we've seen them only last 5 or 6 years.
Yes, absolutely. We had a water heater contest a few years back. Whoever had, in a year's time, we recorded the age of the water heaters of everybody's water heater we had changed out. And the person with the oldest water heater, we sent them a check for like $500, if I remember correctly.
No, we replaced their water heater for free.
Right, but as it went on, we just refunded them what we charged them to replace their water heater.
Yeah.
And we found the water heater was like 18 years, 2 months old.
It was really old.
I don't know how the hell that happened.
Neither do I, because we don't find that in this valley.
No, 5, 6 water heater tank warranties are good for 6.
Right.
They'll typically go 8, 9, 10. We've seen them, for the most part, go 2 more years maybe. We don't replace many water heaters that are 12 years old. It's almost always before that. So
you want to take another phone call?
We're going to go ahead and take a break. Olivia, please hang on, and we'll get to you in a couple of minutes. We're going to do a commercial break right now, and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, and we're back. Thank you for joining us. Our fourth segment of the Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing. So my understanding, we have a caller. Is Olivia still there?
Yes.
Hi, Olivia. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I need to know, every time we turn on the hot water in our bathroom through the bathtub and the sink, brown water comes out of both.
Huh. I wouldn't use those.
I don't think that's the answer she was hoping for.
Oh, you're looking for a different answer, Olivia?
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Does this happen anywhere else in the house, or just noticing those 2 fixtures?
Recently, just those 2 fixtures.
That's interesting. That tells me that one of 2 things is wrong. You might have a water heater failing. Do you know how old your water heater is?
I don't.
All right. The water heater could be failing because you have indicated this is only coming out of the hot side.
Correct.
Is there any sort of indication that you might be getting brown water like this in the dishwasher? Because the dishwasher ultimately uses only hot water.
Well, my dishwasher doesn't work, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you must be married to a plumber. All right, I get that. So because my wife does my plumbing, and I get that. So I would have a look at the date. I would call Aqua Plumbing, and they're going to ask. There's a lady in the office named Kelly. She's going to ask you the model and serial number of your water heater. She will then be able to tell you in a few minutes how old it is. 7, 8, 9 years old. The water heater's probably failing. You could also, not knowing how old your home is, you could also have one of 2 other things going on. Those fixtures could possibly be failing, but really only if the home is old. You'd have galvanized pipes, and we don't use that anymore. It's legal, but we don't use galvanized piping anymore. And it could be from non-use, and iron could be being stored in the water pipe, and with non-use it'll manifest itself with the other minerals in the water. So you've got one of three things. You could have two of maybe all three of three things going on. The water heater might be getting a little bit old, and you could have some failing fixtures that are occurring in your home.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you for calling. Please continue to listen. And our phone number in Las Vegas is 702-642-8400. Give us a call if you need any help with that. And thank you very much for calling, Olivia. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, Olivia, that's a very good caller. She's got some plumbing problems going on there, and they sound simple. That's the good thing. It sounds like she's got simple problems, and unless the water heater's failing, they're a little bit expensive. You know, the water heater industry just went through a really ugly change.
They did, thanks to our government.
Yeah, the federal government, current administration. It's an outfit known as NECA, National Association of Electrical Contractors Conservation. Anyway, those jackasses have gotten involved in the water heater industry, and they've created water heaters, standards for water heaters that are much more stringent than they used to be, and water heater pricing has really, really skyrocketed. So we are very sorry if your water heater does fail. We will keep the price as low as we can and get your water heater changed out. But water heaters now are much more expensive. Since April 16th of this year, water heaters like you are accustomed to having in your home are no longer being manufactured, and they've been exhausted. So we are using all new, I call them new generation water heaters, new gen water heaters. So
one of the problems with them, though, is the size. They're bigger, they're heavier, they're just...
They are. And if you've got say you own a home and the water heater's in what we call an alcove installation, where there's 3 walls surrounding the water heater. You've got a wall on each side and a wall behind the water heater. The new water heater for your house, let's just say it's a 50-gallon gas water heater, the new one may not fit. Now what do? You downsize to a 40. You could have a code violation going on there because you're supposed to have a certain number of gallons pursuant to the number of bedrooms in the house, or go to a tankless water heater, and that's very expensive because you've got to run a dedicated gas line in. You've got to do a different. You got to install a different type of vent, and this water heater thing is it's just getting started, and it's not pretty for homeowners at all.
No, it's not.
Well, with that said, we do. At Aqua Plumbing, we have another vocation. We have another vocation that we like to partake in. We print money. And I see the cameras rolling, and we print money. We will send this to you. If you call us and give us your address, we will send one of these to you. And you can use this. It's a $25 bill. It's an Aqua Plumbing buck. And you will take that off of your service call. And you don't have to tell us you've got it before you call us. You just tell us when we're all done with the work, and we present you the bill, and we'll then hack $25 off of your bill. And
you have one more call before we are done.
Oh, yes, we're running out of time here. I believe her name was Becca. Hi, Becca. Thank you for calling Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So I smoke cigarettes in my garage, and I went out there the other day, and I was smoking, and I heard this tinking noise from my water heater, and I don't know if that's a problem or not.
Okay, throw the water heater away along with the cigarettes. How's that?
No.
No.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works?
Not how it works.
All right. That is extremely normal. Do you notice this happening in the summer or the winter?
I'll just now notice it, so summer.
Wow, that's interesting. What's happening is the tank in your water heater is actually growing. The water heater, the water in the water heater cools off, and therefore the water heater believes that the water heater needs to be heated, so the burner comes on. And as the water's being heated, when things heat, they
grow.
They grow. So you're hearing the iron tank in the water heater going at, I would imagine you're hearing this tink, tink, tink sound. Hello?
I'm sorry, I'm listening.
Okay. You're hearing she had to get her, she was looking for her cigarettes. You're hearing this tink, tink, tink sound?
Yes.
Okay. Very normal. Don't worry about a thing. If you have any questions, though, and you're still worried about it, you live here in Las Vegas, you can call us at 642-8400, area code 702-642-8400. Thank you very much for your call.
All right, you're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so, you can go ahead and give us a call at Aqua Plumbing, 702-642-8400. Give us your address. Demand that we send you a $25 bill. We'll gladly do that. Call into the show here. We'll take your address, and we'll take care of that, too. So thank you for joining us here at Aqua Plumbing 101 with Aqua Plumbing. And next week, we want to know if anybody can tell us what is the most dangerous appliance in your house is.
I know.
No, don't say that. So with that, Becky has our roundhouse salute.
Until next week, remember, Aqua Plumbing's the name and turd herding's the game.
And if it's brown, it's going down, baby. Thank you for tuning in.